Hello, my motor enthusiasts. Buckle up, for we traverse through the twists and turns of the 2023 Formula One season. Red Bull, with their horns held high, shattered not one, not two, but 5 significant records, making a mark in the annals of this thrilling sport. With 21 victories in 22 races, Max Verstappen at the helm, they came tantalizingly close to sweeping the season. Their single stumble? Singapore, yet their dominance remains unmatched. Ringing up an impregnable 860 points in the Constructors' Championship, they left Mercedes trailing in their wake by a mammoth 451 points. With this, Red Bull etched their name as one of the greatest teams in Formula One history. Quite the exhilarating ride, wouldn't you agree? Hey, all you speedsters! This is your host Enzo, and joining me today is the astute observer of the racetrack, Mr. William.
Hello, everyone.
We're here daily on F1 Motor Fever podcast, bringing you the best of Formula One. Remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay on track with us. Now, let's go full throttle. Just to cite the source, I came across this captivating analysis on Racing News 365, whipped up by their talented writers.
Indeed, that site is a trusted resource amongst Formula One followers. Though, it's always prudent to cross-check, don't you agree?
Absolutely. Let's keep the wheels rolling, shall we? So let's dive straight in. Red Bull demonstrated an unprecedented level of dominance in the 2023 season. Out of 22 races, they emerged victorious in 21. The team from Milton Keynes truly left the competition in the dust with the RB19.
That's indeed remarkable. And let's not forget the role of Max Verstappen, single-handedly securing the Constructors' title by adding 19 victories to his record. It's fair to say he drove the World Championship home in a spectacular manner.
Absolutely. While it was forecasted that Red Bull might win every race after the season opener in Bahrain, they fell just short of that prediction, missing out on a clean sweep by one race.
It's also worth noting that Max Verstappen's brilliance was such that he could have won the Constructors' title on his own. His haul of 575 points was 166 points more than Mercedes could muster.
And talking about records, Red Bull smashed quite a few in 2023. For instance, the previous record for most wins in a season, which was held by Mercedes in 2016, was surpassed. Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg had driven the W07 to 19 wins from 21 races in that year.
But, as we know, records are set to be broken. And Red Bull did just that with their 20th win of the year in Las Vegas, where Verstappen broke the team record and further extended it in the Abu Dhabi finale.
Yes, a race that the triple world champion has now won for the past 4 years in a row. The only hiccup in their virtually flawless run came in Singapore, when setup issues led to both Verstappen and Sergio Perez being eliminated in Q2.
Even so, they managed to climb to 5th and 8th in the race, demonstrating their fighting spirit. There's no denying that the modern F1 calendar offers more races to win, but as you and I know, they still have to be won.
Agreed, it's not just about the opportunity, it's about seizing it. And that's exactly what Red Bull did in 2023. Now let's consider this interesting fact. Red Bull also holds the record for the highest percentage of wins in a season, with a staggering 95.45%.
Absolutely. This percentage achievement actually trumps the record held by the legendary McLaren team back in 1988, where Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost together won 93.75% of Grand Prix races.
Exactly, that represented 15 race wins out of 16. In the context of Red Bull's record, it is a colossal achievement to have won so many races.
Indeed, and that's not all. Red Bull raised the bar yet again by achieving the most consecutive Grand Prix wins, specifically 15. This winning streak actually began in the preceding season, at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
Remarkably, the streak continued uninterrupted for the first 14 races of 2023 until met with a defeat by Carlos Sainz in Singapore.
Quite the run, wasn't it? Now to another significant record. Red Bull scored the most points ever in the Constructors' Championship, a whopping 860 points.
This surpasses the previous record held by Mercedes, who gathered 765 points in 2016. Last year, Red Bull came close with 759 points, but this year they added 101 more to that tally.
It's truly a testament to their dominance. The numerous wins and podium finishes certainly contributed to this landmark achievement. It's a record-breaking run that will echo through the annals of Formula One history.
Couldn't agree more. This was a truly monumental season for Red Bull. Let's see what the future holds for them. Well, to further contextualize Red Bull's achievement in the Constructors' Championship, we need to remember that there were 22 Grand Prix in 2023 compared to 21 in 2016. This offered an additional 43 points, plus 1 for the fastest lap.
That's a good point. And let's not forget the 90 points that were on offer across the 6 sprint weekends for a 1-2 finish in each, accounting for a total of 134 more points on offer to Red Bull than was available to Mercedes when they set the previous record.
In the end, Red Bull's 860 points eclipsed Mercedes' 2016 tally of 765 points by 95 points, averaging at 39.09 per race.
Absolutely. And as a side note, Red Bull has now moved into second place on the all-time list for most points scored by a constructor, with 7,248, surpassing Mercedes' 7,222.5.
But both are still significantly behind Ferrari's tally of 9,672. And the final record claim from Mercedes' 2016 season by Red Bull is the largest lead in the Constructors' Championship.
Yes, Red Bull beat Mercedes by a staggering 451 points in 2023, considerably surpassing the 297-point lead Mercedes held over Red Bull in the third season of the turbo hybrid era.
It's been a record-breaking season for Red Bull, one that will have an indelible mark in Formula One history. As we reflect on it, one thing is clear. They really raised the bar in the 2023 season. William, let's do a spot of window shopping on the internet comments. What's the buzz about in the racing circles?
It looks like a certain Harry Brown has tossed a fascinating question into the ring. He asks, what race is considered as the worst strategy call ever by any team? He's listed a few incidents that he reckons were poor decisions, including Kimi's full wet tyre in the bone-dry 2009 Malaysian GP, and Ferrari's hard tyres in a stone-cold track in the 2022 Hungarian GP.
That's a topic to chew on. Any interesting responses from the community?
Indeed. Barry Smith commented on the Toyota Bahrain scenario in 2009, saying it was not the worst, but a classic case of how Toyota turned an easy 1-2 into a forgettable result.
Oh, that race. Anything more?
Yes, there's an intriguing exchange between Barry and Ron Logan. Ron wonders if that was a bit of a glory run in qualifying or mixing it up with another race. Barry explains that they were slightly lighter on fuel and conditions on race day favoured the soft tyre. They were leading after the first stint, but decided to fit hard tyres for a long middle stint, which slowed them down considerably, dropping them to 3rd and 7th.
I remember that. It was an interesting race, to say the least.
It certainly was. Larry Allen also brought the 1997 Monaco Williams pit strategy under scrutiny. Apparently, they were on slicks when it was pouring rain.
Not the best time to be on slicks. Any other memorable strategy mishaps?
There's an interesting narrative by Marvin Adams about the final race of the 1986 season, where due to tyre woes, Williams managed to lose not just once, but twice, the Drivers' Championship.
Ouch, that's a tough one.
Indeed, and there's a long thread discussing that in detail. But it seems everyone has a different race in mind. Even Charles's double stack in Monaco 2022 is mentioned.
Well, it just goes to show, strategy in Formula One is as much a gamble as it is a science. You're only as good as your last race, and you're only as bad as your last mistake. And that brings us to the checkered flag for today's episode. Thank you all for being such an engaging audience and joining us on this thrilling lap around Formula One's fascinating world. Remember, your support fuels our passion. So don't forget to subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Share the love for F1 Motor Fever podcast with your comrades on all available platforms, from social media to dinner table conversations. If you liked what you heard today, don't hesitate to drop a comment.
Absolutely. And remember, you can always catch us on the daily. You never know what you'll miss if you don't tune in. Here's a teaser for the next episode. Just kidding. No spoilers here. You'll have to join us again to find out.
We truly appreciate you choosing to spend your time with us and are already revving up for the next episode. Until then, William and Enzo, pedal to the metal, keep your gaze on the road. Our channel's content is pure gold.